So, how do you stop building a fragile online business? There's one thing that I know that you watching this right now are afraid to admit, and that is the business that you're building right now is fragile. Now, tell me in the comments down below if this actually sounds familiar, but basically, the business that you're in right now, the thing that you're running right now, the offer right now that you're running, your whole entire goal with it is to run it up as much as possible in the next 1 to 2 years to collect as much money as possible, to have a few million in the bank so you can be financially set, and then you can go ahead and continue to focus on running whatever it is that you want to run, which for some reason everybody's looking to get into different businesses. The info guys are looking to get into SaaS guys are looking to get into info or running some sort of service offer, agency guys and service offer guys, they're trying to get into info, and it just feels like every single industry wants to get to another industry. They want to jump ships, and the reason for that, this is what you're scared to admit, is that your business is actually fragile. It is not built to last. For you, you don't care actually about the thing that it is that you're running. You don't care about the offer. The only thing that you care about is making more money. The issue with that is that when you only care about making more money, you try to show up to your business, and the only reason why you would improve is if it pays you. If it doesn't directly pay you, if there's no clear ROI on everything it is that they do, you decide to not do it. And so I want you to think with me, who would get better results? The person who actually applies and tries to improve their business regardless of whether they're getting paid or not, or the person who's just simply doing it for money? Well, we obviously know it's obvious. There's a clear choice of who is actually going to improve in the long run. Now, on top of that, let me ask you a second question. Who out of these two kinds is actually going to last for the next 2, 10, 20, 30 plus years running online businesses and just running businesses in general? It's obviously going to be the guy who actually improves without anyone asking him to. Look at the greatest entrepreneurs of our generation, of our lifetime. Look at Steve Jobs and Jeff Bezos. I know I use these examples in every single video, but I want to drill it down to you guys. There's going to be two types of people. The people who watch this video and ignore it, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, but it doesn't matter if you're building a business that lasts for a really long time. What matters is how much cash you can collect today and whatever. And these are the people who are right now, let's just say, living the lifestyle. They're doing all that stuff. But in reality, at the end of the day, in 10 years time, they're always going to just be, they're going to be known as the guy, oh, that's the Miami guy who drives an SVJ. Respectfully, that's nothing. When you talk to real entrepreneurs, when you talk to centimillionaires and billionaires, that's like the level of impact that we need to aspire to get to. When you talk to these people, they look at all these online money kids as simply a small dot. You need to understand that right now, online business, online money, it might seem like it will never last. It might seem like, oh, it's going to crumble. Again, guys, this is coming from a guy who made $1 million in profit before the age of 18, and I made $20+ million for my clients. I know what I'm talking about. I'm more than credible to tell you this. As much as online business seems like it's never going to last, I'm telling you, it will last, but it will only last for the right people, for the people who think in long term. So you can either listen to this advice that I'm giving you right now and actually finally admit that you have an issue, you have a problem, and we can start talking about it by you watching these videos and understanding what the problem is, or you can just go back to your little bubble on the internet trying to be another online money kid with an SVJ that is leased in Miami, and then all of a sudden, next thing we know, that 2 years later, you're going to go ahead and just disappear because we don't know what happened. Guess that, your offer, your info offer, your SaaS offer isn't, meant to last forever. I guess like your agency offer got oversaturated and got replaced by AI. I wonder why that is. I wonder why that is the case. The case is very simple. The reason why people do this is because the mentors that you learn from, their number one goal is to give you a tactic that works for the next 6 to 12 months, and that's it. That's all the goal is. They're just trying to give you something so they can get a testimonial, so they can sell more people on the same exact model, the same tactic, and then when it stops working, well, they don't care. They already made their money and moved on to the next thing, to the next big bubble, the next big trend. So that was the first step in order for you to stop building a fragile business, is to understand that your business is actually fragile. No matter how much monthly recurring revenue you're at, no matter how many clients that you have, no matter, all that stuff is vanity metrics. It's never meant to last. If you're maximizing, if you look at, do you think Jeff Bezos, or do you think any of these really big entrepreneurs that you look up to outside of the online space, you really think these guys are looking at their monthly revenue thinking, oh yeah, I'm better than last month because I have more monthly recurring revenue? Obviously not. That isn't the case. Their metric is how much more people have we impact and changed their lives this month, this year? How much are we on track to actually change and do in the next year, 2 years, 10 years, 5 years? Those are the real metrics to look at. You're comparing the wrong metrics. So the second thing is you need to understand that the metric that you're maximizing for was the wrong metric all along. It isn't how much money you're making a month. Trust me, true freedom doesn't come from making 50, 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand a month. It doesn't come from that. It comes from understanding that the real principle that you're trying to achieve with your business is how many lives can we impact. Do you really think if you believe in God, if you don't, just try to understand this as much as possible. But do you really think that God put you on this earth just so you can run a 100K a month business and help a bunch of info guys make a lot of money, and that's about it? Do you really think that with the gifts and with the skills that you have, this is the reason why you're on earth? Do you really think that is the case? If you really think that is the case, please unsubscribe, hit not interested on my channel. I don't want to see people like this on my channel. And guess what? You do not deserve to win. If you truly are going to waste the talents and the things and the resources that God gave you, the brain that you have right now, if you're just wasting it on seeing how much money you can possibly make, you're playing the wrong game. That is not what life is all about. Money is simply something that amplifies the thing that is inside of you. And that thing that is inside of you is your purpose. You need to follow your purpose. You need to build a business that is centered around your purpose. That is truly how you scale. And that is how you truly build a business that does not break. Now, what ends up happening is you might listen to this advice and remember like, Yusuf, I'm not really convinced. I'm going to just go ahead and continue running my business how I'm running it right now. I'm going to try and maximize for as much cash collected as possible. I had a call with a friend of mine and we both started online business around the same time. So I really got started taking the whole making money online seriously at around 2023. And I met this guy around the similar time and he was at a similar level in his business. And both of us were really young guys. We were around, I think 15 at the time. I think he was even like 1 year younger than me. And we started making a lot of money. We started making essentially 6 figures within 6 months of us starting, which by the way was unheard of before. You get flooded all over your For You page with all these like young guys making a lot of money. Trust me, that still isn't normal. Like, you need to understand that we live in this bubble that it's only a few amount of guys who are really young making this much money online. We live in a bubble that it almost feels like, oh, nothing is really special. When you look on the outside, guys, I'm gonna give you a statistic that will blow your mind, and we'll go back to this story. The statistic is almost 90% of the world's population has never used AI. Now, let alone the guys that are watching these videos, they're probably very proficient in AI. You probably have used ChatGPT or Claude or even Claude Code of some sorts. If you're using Claude Code, you're like top 0.0001% of the population. You're like so far ahead. You need to understand that this was not normal by any means. Anyways, so me and this guy, we jumped to a meteoric sort of rise in terms of like money and revenue and all this stuff, and we're pretty well known in the mentorships that we're in and the spaces that we're in. And anyways, years go by and I kind of lose contact with the guy. We kind of go our own separate ways. And I was texting him the other day, and turns out that he had to essentially close all of his businesses. He had to shut down shop. He had to move back to his parents' house, and he now works a minimum wage job despite him making hundreds of thousands of dollars online. Guys, I don't want this to seem like it's very far-fetched or, oh, this will never happen. You'll never hear about the failure stories. You'll never see anybody turn on their camera, right, and be like, guys, listen, after making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, I lost it all. No one's out here saying this. No one will ever share this with you, because why would they? Why would they position themselves? And I know how hard it is to admit something like this. You're over here, you want to seem like the authority, you want to seem like you got it all figured out in front of your personal brand, and you're afraid to genuinely admit that, damn, like, even though I'm making all this money, my business is really fragile. Like, if my posts stop hitting, if I stop getting views this month, or I stop doing all this stuff, all of a sudden my revenue is going to go down. I know how hard it is to admit it, but in order for you to actually change, you need to admit it to yourself first. There's going to be the people who ego is genuinely going to be the death of them. They're going to have this high ego. They're going to hold it. They're going to be like, Yusuf, I don't have a problem. My business isn't fragile. It's going to last so many decades. It's going to do all this stuff. This whole video, by the way, can be summarized into this. You not admitting that you have an issue is the whole entire issue, or like 90% of the issue. The actual solving it is very simple, because once you understand that, oh, I've been building the wrong way, your mind automatically starts thinking of like, okay, how do I build in the right way? How do I start building in terms of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? And down below, the first link in the description, by the way, I have a whole thesis paper that is written that explains this problem very further. I don't have a video sales letter. I don't have any of this stuff. Literally, I want you to go ahead and read it. If you can't sit there and read a 10-minute, 20-minute paper, then I'm sorry, you don't deserve to succeed. You're not the type of person who is genuinely willing and is capable of success over the next 10, 20, 30 plus years. You're just genuinely not that person. I want you to click off. Again, I am very selective with this channel. I don't care if this channel gets 10 views. I don't care. If those are the 10 people that actually understand and listen to the message that I'm saying right now, and those are the people that I can only help, fine. But those 10 people, there's those very few individuals, I don't know how many views it's gonna get, but those few individuals that listen to what I'm saying and actually apply it, those are the people that are gonna succeed. Those are the people that you're gonna see in 10 years time, who you're gonna be like, oh my God, like that is the person that I knew who was running an online business back in 2026. And now all of a sudden they're running a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. They have all these different companies, they have all these different ventures and things, and they have generational wealth, and they didn't fall off. Very few people understand how the game is actually played, and even fewer people are going to come out here and tell you how the game is played. Because simply, if I come out here and tell you, oh, this is how you play the game, guess what? Genuinely, guess what? All these people who are selling mentorships, their whole business relies on never showing you the full picture. Even if they charge you $100,000 every single year for information, the whole whole thing relies on you never seeing the full picture. And this is why I charge so much money for me to give people the full picture. Again, I'm not bullshitting you here. I know that I have a pretty decent amount of the picture, of the full picture. I don't claim that I have the full picture, but I think I have a lot more than most people will offer. And I charge a lot of money for that part. And so if you think that, oh, Yusuf, like this is useless, I don't need to see the full picture, okay, bye. If you think like, yes, Yusuf, I want to see the full picture, I want to actually know how to build businesses for the next 10, 20 plus years, then go ahead and click the first link in the description and go ahead and watch this next video, because the more videos that you watch, the more this message will go out there and resonate with more people.